Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs. Welcome to the Ascalon, Dr. Reed.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Welcome to the Ascalon, then, Dr. Reed.
I cannot enter.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bancher was no match for him.
Here, here!
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why are you suddenly so friendly? The last time I met one of yours, he tried to kill me.
Are you referring to Fergal? He was the most useful of servants, but he was just a servant. You, on the other hand, Doctor, proved yourself much more worthy.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members. And I do appreciate obedience.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours. Sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
That went well, did it not?
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
You were spying?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
I have met peaceful and wise Skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Have you heard the rumors of some horned
Good evening,
vampire
Dr.
revealing
Reed.
himself in
How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
I feel perfectly fine.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested...
May I ask who you...
Why would you be in...
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of...
Ah. Vampire senses never cease to fascinate me.
Are you not afraid?
Sir, it's for that very reason that I
Is not the nature of this club a secret?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune
So you are...
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries.
What can you tell...
I would not dare speak about...
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And
What can you tell me?
it's not really my place to give you such...
Are you...
Personally, I...
Mr. Dawson? Of Dawson and Dawson?
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson?
My case is beyond the scope of tradition.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in...
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement...
What is the situation?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more...
What do you know about the Guard of Prewen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment.
But they are our enemy.
They are not mine.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time.
Money cannot solve...
You're right. Money is...
What is your...
Quarantine and barricade...
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos.
Not if we eliminate all...
Are you not mistaking sacrifice?
Why do you care? Are you not a vamp? We'll talk later, Dr. Reed.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
To vote is only the first step. Women of...
And
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic.
a few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Goodbye.
She's been...
Good evening.
Can I help?
Good. Good.
Well,
I'm in.
infection is everywhere.
Yes? What about the Mullaneys?
Not enough noise for a big family with
You need. Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, can't you just knock at people?
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, John. You know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night?
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too?
How is the old rascal? I'm in.
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves.
They could just be afraid.
Perhaps you're right.
How have you been since the last?
I've done my duty. Like all British...
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic.
Have you noticed anything?
You mean except for your return to town?
Thank you, Venus.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral.
There's no need to apologize, my...
No, it's not. I am sure that
Why is my return?
it's more an unexpected happy end.
Venus, why do you worry so much?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid...
Did Clarence recently show you?
Yes, he did. And he also told me
He's my friend. I thought it might help him rest, instead of...
gibberish and poppycock. Dracula was a good book, but...
Why are you
He has spent a fortune printing his bloody papers.
If you're so frustrated by Clarence's behavior...
I have already lost the best years of my life because of him.
I was the best man at your wedding. I remember your love for him. It was so beautiful. I cried. And now you've killed him.
Don't try to send a shiver down my spine, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about Clarence.
Drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt.
I understand your irritation, Venus.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my heart...
The important question...
I'm tough, Jonathan.
So you don't believe...
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince...
Why do you and your husband...
He is not the kind man I married. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son. They were such a beautiful family. I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
It's locked. No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in. Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this mess. But who? Blood. I should follow the trail.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I'm not here to sustain myself. I'm currently investigating the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
What are you doing?
I recently decided to visit London.
You take pleasure from...
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure.
And who?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond.
You're French, but you're...
I was born in France, sir, but I consider...
Dear cousin.
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't...
I followed the trail of blood from her room.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
Her body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir.
I'm in...
Infection.
And where...
West of the...
Women die too in this war!
Good evening.
And good evening.
I have found out what happened.
I can handle the truth. There's no need.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood.
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy.
Good evening.
I won't.
Do you realize you...
Money isn't important.
People will laugh at you.
I understand my wife's embarrassment.
I can't believe I'm telling you this.
Don't you think I tried? I knocked at every door, went to every bank.
You need... Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Burn it, boys!
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage. He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution? So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Support the equality between men and women.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. And not if you have the money.
Miss E, since I took... infecting...
What? The what? No.
Have you heard anything?
Not really.
A man such as your...
Yeah, thanks to Nurse.
So business is...
More than ever. Hope Nurse.
What?
Maybe. Yeah,
So...
more than.
Goodbye. Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Doctor.
Welcome back.
Good evening, nurse. How should I address you?
Dorothy is all right. If you don't mind me calling...
That's fine with me.
What can I do for you then?
I hope you've stopped...
Yes, I have.
Why did you blackmail?
She killed those patients.
Who is the current...
I would rather you didn't.
Do you need...
I'm a professional nurse.
Do you...
You forced me to resign after you caught me trying...
Are you not afraid of dying?
I'm more afraid of being locked in a...
Tell me,
There is not much...
do you regret...
I miss the energy.
Do you think about going back to Romania?
Jonathan, this war...
How is this...
I don't know whether you have undertaken your own...
How are things going in the
The dispensary is fine, but the...
Yes.
No, but I heard they now patrol...
How are things...
The dispen...
Yes.
No.
Show me what...
It's locked, all right.
Perhaps I should look into it.
Good evening.
Wang Sha.
How do you feel?
I don't feel...
You should...
Thank you.
Good...
This feeling will disappear someday.
Hi, and... Good.
For the Swanborough cordial.
I'd head back if I were you, sir. It's a... Fuck, it's fast!
This is my territory! London vampires assault!
They're feeble!
Good evening, sir. It's me.
Leave me alone, I say, whoever...
It cannot be safe for a blind man to live...
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clear. Tell me, how do you see the world these days? So what is the name of my nocturnal...
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed? The eminent surgeon? My God.
You flatter me.
No, sir, I am flattered. I read all your work.
You seem unwell.
Actually, I feel worse.
Yes. I can...
Thank you, Doctor.
And what else have you learned?
I know you assisted Professor Carell in France, and that you...
Yes. Those were...
Yes, the thrill of research and...
Does someone take care of...
My sister Loretta and I have our daily routine.
Where does yours...
Well, let's just say...
What's so amusing?
I won't hide the truth from you. Loretta sells...
Do you not appreciate your sister's visits?
Loretta is the best and worst thing that happened to me.
So, Mason, you are the creative one in the Swanborough...
Yes, I am. I am the one who invented and...
And you do it all by yourself?
My eyes may be useless, but my brain is still sharp. Once a chemist, always a chemist.
How?
I hear them.
Is your sister using...
I've lost my sight, not my wits. Loretta couldn't...
Are you sure about that? You clear...
Let me be perfectly clear.
Mason, why would you waste your skill?
This is my only opportunity to...
By giving false hope to desperate...
They all see me as disabled and useless. I'm sick.
To accept what has happened to us, and what...
You'll not get my respect through cheap compassion, Doctor. Speak...
Do you know Braille, Mr...
I'm no expert, but I learned it in my spare time.
I found a strange document entitled Cure for Blindness. It's written in...
Really? Is that some kind of sick joke?
Here it is.
This letter seems authentic. And it actually refers to an experimental cure for blindness. You have piqued my interest, Dr. Reed.
Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a part of a larger diary. I'd be glad if you could find the other pages.
I found another page of the diary, Mr. Swan.
This diary is still not complete. The man who wrote it claims he is a member of some scholarly brotherhood called the St. Paul's Stole.
Really? I've heard of them. Very capable scientists. Perhaps the man who wrote this really found a cure.
I would need more pages to figure it out, but it's as promising as it is intriguing.
Here is another page of the diary we were talking about.
Ah, now we're talking. Ingredients, dosages, dangers, and side effects. This is it.
Is the diary complete now?
No. The author tested his work in a hidden laboratory. We must find out where it was. Please, find me more pages, Doctor.
Here is another page of the formula for the cure for blindness.
Give it to me? Yes. Brilliant. I'm going to give you the location and the code you will need to find the cure, but you have to listen to me first.
Why? What is it?
If you find the proof that this treatment for blindness is real, I want to try it. Do you understand? No matter the risks.
Risks? What have you read in these pages that you're not telling me?
You already know what you need to know. I trust you, Dr. Reed. We share the same passion for science. Please bring back the formula.
Goodbye.
Wandering in this part of town and... You're either brave or a fool. What kind of gentleman pays visits to this late hour?
It's locked, all right.
Stupid! Newborn! Gotcha! Ah! 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 Murdering bastard!
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. despicable.
This is no place for you, sir.
I have this thirst for blood.
You're mine!